with Brent Stewart. He is the founder of Stewart Law Offices, and we're right here in downtown Beaufort. Brent, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Let's kind of take a look back at
All right.
how you got started in law and where, and then how you ended up in Beaufort.
Well, in general, the way I got started in law was my parents had a lake house years ago in Ohio, and our neighbor was a lawyer. And I used to cut his grass, or kind of cut the grass on the whole peninsula where we were to make money. And I just talked to him over and over and got to know him and got interested in what the practice of law was. And well, back then, everything was way more, lawyers did a little bit of everything, a jack of all trades.
Very general. Right.
Very general.
Yes.
And so, and very local, which I really always liked, which is sadly going away.
Yes.
However, I just really liked him. I spent some time with him at his firm and became very interested. And from that point on, I just kind of always wanted to be a lawyer.
And so when did you open up your firm?
So I graduated law school in 1989, which I can't believe it's been that
long.
Just a
few years ago.
Just a little bit ago. And I just actually got old enough that in South Carolina, I don't have to take CLEs, which is continuing legal education. So that's been been huge for me. Yeah, it's been huge. But in any event, my firm, I opened up in 1995.
Okay.
I had originally, when I left law school, worked for a local firm in Wheeling, West Virginia, which is where I grew up. Mm-hmm. And I did that for 2 years. And then I went to the Attorney General's office and moved overseas to Guam.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then when I came back, I moved to Charleston for a couple years and worked for a kind of a bigger firm there. Mm-hmm. And then decided that my future was on my own. My future was on my own. I was better. I was kind of unemployable and better as my own boss. And so I went on to start my firm.
And that was in the Charlotte area?
So what I did was I was a marketing major in undergrad. So I did some marketing research on different places to look into. And my favorite places, or the places that I thought were growing the fastest, were Myrtle Beach, Beaufort, and Rock Hill.
Oh, okay.
And I was young and single and thought that Charlotte had a lot going on, so I picked as my initial market to open up was Rock Hill, and I moved up to Rock Hill. I didn't know anybody, and just decided if I went bankrupt, I would just move home to West Virginia with my lab and practice up there.
So Brent, the main areas of your practice are personal injury and workers' compensation. Why?
So, well, a lot of that has to do with the kind of law I think that you start doing when you first get out of law school. As I said, my first firm was in Wheeling, West Virginia, and this firm was kind of a heavy-hitting litigation firm. And they did a lot of medical malpractice, car wrecks, not so much workers' comp in West Virginia. It's not such a big thing as North and South Carolina. But that's what I started doing. And I knew that I liked litigation when I went to the Attorney General's office because we did litigation there as well. So my areas where I loved litigation, I loved the personal injury aspect of work, helping people. And so that's kind of how I aimed my firm. As I said earlier, it used to be people were a jack of all trades.
Yes.
Now it seems like people are kind of honing in on one area or two areas and kind of like using those as their main form of thing to keep going. And that's kind of what we did. We just do personal injury.
You mentioned helping people. That's a cornerstone of really what you're all about.
Well, it's a cornerstone of what all lawyers are about, actually. And I think we, as lawyers,
they're all about.
Well, we all get a bad rap because there's in every occupation there's what is it? Good eggs, bad eggs, what my grandparents used to say. But for the most, what we do is try to help people. Now, the difference with personal injury lawyers and what we do is we're not helping big business or corporations. We're helping people that are hurt compete with big business and corporations.
I like that.
And that's kind of why you'll see these firms saying, hey, listen, free consultation.
Right.
We do costs up front because most people aren't able to come in and fully fund their own case and pay their lawyer up front when they're competing against a huge company. So, and that's another reason why people kind of stick to one area of law is you kind of got to get that whole system going in order to be able to take care of the costs and do free initial consultations. So that's kind of all a part of it.
And that free initial consultation is critical to the heart of what you do.
Well, I think a lot of different areas of law will talk to you free up front, just to see if there's even a good fit to handle the case. So I think it's always a good idea to, as a lawyer, to talk to somebody up front before you decide whether you're taking the case. Like I just always had some kind of a problem with taking money up front not knowing if I wanted to handle the case just to talk to somebody. I think it's totally doable, and the way personal injury is set up, it's a little different, so it's easier for us to do. But I don't think it's ever a bad idea for an attorney to first sit down and do a consultation to see whether or not there's a fit.
Very good. All right, well, thank you for talking with me today.
No
Brent
problem.
Stewart with Stewart Law Offices.